Round 4 of Quarry versus King. And so we've went ahead and did the endurance deduction between rounds. Both fighters have to check modes because pressure has to be maintained, and Quarry was behind on punch points. So they will both roll for modes for round 4. 2 for Quarry. He's going to go outside. And 13 for King is going to keep him in pressure mode. He has just been all pressure all the time. Interesting. All right. How's this going to go? So in the last round, there was a 3-point stun that occurred right before the bell that has no carryover effect. Okay. Had that happened earlier in the round, then there would have been automatic control in the next segment and so forth. Maybe we could show that off at some point, hopefully in this round even. All right, so both fighters are short of their control ranges. So this is open action 58. And now, since it's outside versus pressure, we are in the normal column, okay, for the first time. So not quite as nasty, not quite as high scoring when you go to these charts. So what did I say? Open action 58. Juke and move. So this time, Quarry comes out, and he's trying to keep his distance. King's trying to pursue and keep the pressure on. And Quarry's moving around, and King is unable to get punches off. And here we are going to open action with a 20 and a 19 respectively. 0-0 is the result. We're in the normal column. This is a savage flurry. Holy mackerel. Fighter with the greater power wins this exchange 3-2. So here's Quarry stunning King. They're both throwing big time punches. But Quarry is just the heavier handed fighter, and King is stunned. So this is exactly what I was hoping for, is that we could show off a stun. So what happens in a stun segment? What that means is there will be no control, because Quarry, having stunned King, is an automatic control for this segment, for this third segment of the round. You typically would get a defense roll, but in this case you don't. Defense is cut in half. And so there's a little bitty chart up here, which you don't really need, but here it is. And when a fighter is stunned, their defense is cut in half, and so his defense, if it were 2, it would drop to 1. In this case, it was already 1, so it drops to 0, so there's no sense in rolling that. So all we're doing for this stun segment now is rolling percentile dice, D100s, and looking at the A column, and whatever happens, happens. This is what Quarry follows up with, while King is glassy-eyed and shaking his head a little bit. Uh-oh, that doesn't look good for King. The result is 71. That is a straight punch and a K4 result. Quarry, with power of 7, easily has enough power to convert that. So I'm going to put KS. Vicious straight punch following up on the stunned Howard King. And now we're going to check King's chin again. His chin is 4. We checked it last round also. So going up here, finding chin of 4 and looking across. Our result is 84, another high roll. That's still a 3-pointer though. And he remains stunned. Big combination, big straight punch. Holy mackerel. It's getting interesting now. So we're still in that stunned mode, right? Another stun now applies to the next segment. So we do it again. And here comes Corey for the third straight segment. 81, that doesn't look good either. Oh, this is this is bad for King. It's a K3 plus a cut hazard result. All right, so here's something new that we can talk about. All right, so this is going to be a K and then a left hook, Corey's favored punch, and then the first thing I want to do is resolve the chin check. So chin of 4 still, and this time it's a 56. I think that'll be another, yeah, just barely. That's another 3-pointer. So he's got him kind of stun locked right here. Just keeps wailing on him. This time it's the left hook that gets through, and now in addition to that stun, we have a cut hazard chance. So King's cut rating is 6, and we'll go over here to the cut safe range, and we know that he needs a 9 or better. He rolls a 13, he's safe. So no cut effect from that, but the stun still applies. And now for the fourth straight segment, he's potentially looking at something dangerous here, as Corey gets a free roll on column A on the outside chart. 0-3. That's K11. That's a little bit beyond Corey's power capability of 7. So yeah, that's legendary kind of power. Okay, so he does come through with another left hook. This is not a K check, but it is a 2-point hook. And finally, King is going to get away. And let's see here. He is up to... I'm just looking at the punch points. Yeah, he's got a bunch of punch points. He's not really on a TKO watch, which we'll discuss in a minute, because he hasn't lost any round yet, let alone losing it by 6. All right, so Corey, all of a sudden, just turning it on here in round 4, saying, enough of this, I'm going to get after this Joker. And he does so with a combination, a big straight punch, a big hook, and then a good solid hook after that. And what transpires next? Okay, 14 and 15 on the control rolls. That's going to push us to high action. The result is 19. Make a stand. The fighter with the higher durability, they are equal on durability. 6 each. Stands his ground. If it's equal, this is a heavy flurry, 2-2. So they're both throwing combinations. They're both landing. King is trying to answer back in a way that will at least slow Corey down, because Corey was really starting to tee off on him. And now Corey in command. It's 18-11. So it's solely Corey's control with a 49 is a 1-point hook. King, 15-9 on control, 22, column A. That is a K result, but nowhere near the power, so it's just going to be a 2-point B punch, which is King's left hook. 2-point hook. And he's fighting back. He's scored 6 points in this round now, has King. Not bad for a guy who was starting to be in a little bit of trouble. He was never staggered, but he was backing away. All right, Corey back in charge, 0-4, and this is with a 1 result on the defense. It's going to shift to column D, and you may say, well, why? You said his defense was 0. Well, he's not stunned anymore. Okay, that only applies during those stun segments. Now after the stun segments are done and the automatic control's done, you use his defense rating as is. His defense rating is 1. The result was 1, so therefore we go to column D. And I said, yeah, Corey control 0-4. And so it's going to be a 1-point hook to end the round. And thus ends round 4, the round where Jerry Corey finally starts to turn this around. All right, let's go add this up. 6 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 points. 2 TKO points against. To 6, 1 TKO point against. So the 1 TKO point, 2 for mode cost. So Corey's deduction is 3. He's down to 8. King's deduction is 3 plus the 2. That's 5 off. He's at -2. So now we can start talking about fatigue. All right, and let's do that in the next round.